Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna be taking a look at life in tropical. Let's get into it. Now the average year-round temperature here hovers around 80 degrees Fahrenheit or 27 degrees Celsius. The temperature stays fairly consistent throughout the year no matter what season it is. The humidity changes depending on the season, though. So, during the dry season, it's a lot drier and it's more comfortable outside. You just show up to work, walk your dog, whatever it is you got to do during the day, and if it rains, it's just kind of annoying. You can see it fluctuates throughout the years, just like anywhere else. It's just kind of all over the place. This chart shows you how expensive it is compared to other places in the world. So, if you move here, it's probably not going to be the best idea to cancel your medical insurance. So the internet here is pretty cheap. It's pretty fast, too. It's fiber optic cable. If you want more data, you can always get that. It really helps support the channel and allows me to make more videos like this. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. There's another provider here. They're a little bit more expensive, but they have better coverage in some areas. So it just depends on what you want. If you want the cheapest service, go with the first provider I talked about. If you want a little better coverage, go with the second provider. But those are your two options. You can also get service through the US if you want to pay for it. You just have to go to the border every once in a while and switch your phone over to Mexican service. But you can do that if you want to keep your old number. It's about 60 megabytes per second download speed and 10 megabytes upload speed. That's gonna cost you about $40 a month. There are some other providers here. They're a little bit more expensive, but they're about 100 megabytes per second download speed. So, if you want faster internet, you can get that. But $40 a month gets you pretty good internet. Fiber optic cable, so that's nice. But it's not a bad idea to at least shop around and see if you can get a cheaper insurance plan because the healthcare here is relatively cheap. Here's the cost of a doctor's visit. It's $40 for an office visit. If you have to go to the emergency room, that's about $100. If you have to get an X-ray, that's $50. Ultrasound, $150. MRI, $250. And a CT scan is $100. Now these prices are if you're not an expat. If you are an expat, you probably will get charged more because they'll charge you in dollars instead of colones, which is the local currency. So, it's always a good idea to have some sort of medical insurance, but you can probably find a cheaper plan somewhere else and keep it just in case something happens while you're here. But, if you do need to go to the hospital, it's not terribly expensive. So as you can see, the cost of living here is 13 lower than the US average. And then if you compare it to other countries, it's 38 cheaper than Spain, 42, 44, 46, 47 cheaper than Mexico, Ecuador, Panama, Colombia, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Belize, and Haiti. So overall, the cost of living here is relatively low, especially if you compare it to some of the other popular expat locations. So, if you're looking for a cheap place to live, it's not right on the beach, it's not overlooking the ocean, it's not in a condo, it's just inland a few blocks. You can find some really cheap places to live here, even if it's not right on the beach. If you decide to rent a house or an apartment, you can find something decent for under $1,000 a month. You can find something closer to the beach for maybe $1,200 to $1,400 a month. So, if you're looking for a cheap place to live, tropical is a great option. And it has a low cost of living compared to other places. You're just like, it's raining. You know, just gotta deal with it. It's not a big deal. During the rainy season, it's extremely humid because obviously it rains a lot and that makes it uncomfortable outside. But no matter what, it's always warm. So, if you do plan on moving here or you're visiting, make sure you bring some light clothing. But overall, it's a very safe place to live. It's just like any other city. There's certain areas that you just need to look out for yourself. For the most part, it's very safe. It's just common sense. I mean, don't flash a bunch of cash around. Don't leave your stuff on the beach. Just common sense things. Don't go walking around by yourself at 3 a.m. in the morning. Just use common sense and you should be fine. I've never had any problems here. A couple of my friends have had their bikes stolen, but that's about it. Nothing major has ever happened here. And I've been here for several years and I've never had any problems. I don't know anyone that's been mugged or anything like that. So as long as you just use common sense, you should be fine. It has not gonna be very warm in the winter, and it has definitely gonna be hot in the summer. So, you'll want to have some light clothing and probably a rain jacket. So that's nice. That's pretty much what you would expect in a tropical climate. The warmest month of the year is April, with an average high of 86 degrees Fahrenheit or 30 degrees Celsius. And the coolest month of the year is January, with an average low of 74 degrees Fahrenheit or 23 degrees Celsius. Now this might seem like a huge difference from 86 to 74, but when you actually live here, it's not that noticeable. It just feels like a little bit less humid in January. And there's one day out of the year where the temperature goes below 60 degrees Fahrenheit, which is considered kind of cold here. It's not really that noticeable. So, you can see here on the graph that it kind of stays within this range between 74 and 86 almost all the time. The first thing I want to look at today is the temperature. Now, if you've watched some of my other videos, I talked about the dry season and the rainy season. As far as the hours of daylight, the shortest day of the year is December, with only 10 hours and 1 minute of daylight. And the longest day of the year is around June, with 13 hours and 41 minutes of daylight. Now most of the year, it's going to stay within this range of 12 hours of daylight. I don't know why it varies so much between December and June. If anyone knows, let me know down below in the comments. But for the most part, you're gonna get up at 6, 7, maybe even 8 a.m. in the morning, and it's still light outside. And you're gonna go to bed at 7, 8, maybe even 9 p.m. and it's still light outside. So, it's kind of cool. Another thing that's nice about living in a tropical climate is you don't have to worry about snow, ice, blizzards, any of that stuff. If you were planning on moving here, or you were just curious about how the cost of living is here, this is the average cost of living. Next, I want to talk about safety. Like anywhere else, there are safe areas and there are areas that you should probably avoid. The next thing I want to talk about is healthcare. And the last thing I want to talk about today, internet and cell phone service. As far as cell phone service, you can get a SIM card with unlimited talk and text and 25 gigabytes of data for $25 a month. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click the like button. If you're new here, consider subscribing.